Hello everyone, so today I want to introduce my Super Recurve to you guys. Where should I start? Actually, I want to do this video to show my bowyer how we actually use the bow because he doesn't do thumb draw and he's not familiar with how we actually use the bow. And he's just building it based on what I requested. So yeah, I have to do a video to show him how we actually use it, how the bow actually bends as we draw it, and might as well do a video for you guys, right? So this Super Recurve, okay, this is how it looks like. The bow is a carbon bow, so actually both side here is carbon, both side. But on my unit here, I added a Burmese python snake skin decoration. I paid a lot of money for this snake skin. I think it's pretty nice for collection. Not everyone likes snake skin, so you don't have to order snake skin. But I think it's quite nice and it's unique in my collection because I do not have a snake skin in my collection, so I want to have one. Okay, so that's the snake skin. Otherwise, it is actually black color carbon like that. It is actually 3K, but because okay, so you see the pattern now. So because this one is like matte finishing, so it may not show super well. Okay, that's why sometimes you might see it looks a bit more flat. Sometimes it shows. Okay, so in terms of the handle, it is large, so I'm gonna hold the two ends of the face. This is the riser. Okay, holy shit, it is a huge ass riser because again it is based on a Super Recurve bevel initially, right? And then we modified it, so that's why big ass riser. Limbs are very wide because it needs that torsional resistance, which automatically means that the riser itself is actually very heavy. This bow, even though it is not even that large, tip to tip on this unit here is 51.5 inch. I have 3 units and they vary slightly. So the longer one actually is 52.5 inch, this 51.5, slight variation. And that has to do with because when you make this curve, sometimes it bends a bit less and a bit more, just a tiny bit variation. Okay, so back to this one. The bow weighs 570 grams on this unit. I have another unit that is like 560 grams, another unit is 580 grams, so varies a little bit. Okay, this handle here is very massive, very heavy, which is good because it deadens the hand shock. When you shoot this bow, there's pretty much nothing. You don't feel any hand shock. It's very low. Okay, it's very low. I mean, if you're super sensitive, you might feel just a tiny bit, like it feels like, yeah, that is the hand shock, so low. But there is a little bit of vibration. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a vibration story later, but anyway, let's go back to the handle. Big ass, super heavy riser to dampen hand shock. Arrow pass is very narrow on this unit. Okay, so we decided to do cascading arrow pass width. So as the poundage increase, the arrow pass is going to increase in width. So like this one here is like 30 plus pounds. It is only like 16-17 mil. Okay, very narrow. In terms of the width here, okay, this width here, or the depth, okay, depth is quite big. Look at my hand. Okay, look, it covers almost all the way there. It is big. Okay, it is big. You see, my fingers unclosing into my skin. So most of the other Asiatic bows, I can at least touch my palm here, right? My thumb here. But this one I couldn't completely close. That shows this handle is actually quite large. If you have larger hands, great. I am 170 centimeters height. This is like 5'6", 7" something like that. So if you're any taller than that, great. That means there won't be a problem for you. But if you have small hands, might be a small problem, but fortunately I'm actually quite an average height, so I believe it shouldn't be a problem for most people. But if there is a problem, then do let me know, and we have to request for it to be a bit smaller. Otherwise, I think it is good. When I hold it, it feels full in the hand, and I love it. Okay, I love the way it is right now. Oh, the arrow pass, this thing here is actually not permanent, okay? It actually is like that without an actual material on the arrow pass, just blank like that. This one here is just a tape. It's a fabric tape. We use it as a temporary arrow pass material. So once you scrape off and you damage the part, we're gonna peel it off, throw away, put a new layer on, and go on with our day. Okay, so that's just the way I like to put things, because putting any material there, when you wear out, you have to change it. So the most convenient is of course to put a tape, then all you're done, and then just replace it. It's quick. Okay, so big ass handle, very wide, very wide limbs. So the torsional resistance is extreme good, very good. Okay, I'm trying to keep this steady, and I'm gonna try to twist this one for you. Okay, this is bloody, very torsional resistance. It's very difficult to twist. It is stiff as hell. Stiff as hell. Okay, stiff as hell. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna be any problem with the twist. Okay, so this is a Burmese python, in case you are interested. However, for the Burmese python, I did complain a little bit because, okay, the boil says because the scales are rather large, so it traps air. It traps air. You can see there's like white stuff, right? It traps air bubbles in it. So that's the unfortunate thing. It doesn't take away very much, but if you look very closely, very close up, you see, those white bubbles are a little bit annoying. But if you look from far, just normal use, it looks great. Okay. The tip is very simple. It's just carbon. Okay, it's entirely carbon. String is Flemish twist, so it's easy for me to adjust the brace height. Flemish twist. Oh, might as well just mention this. A lot of times, beginners who are unfamiliar with Flemish twist, when they see those ends, okay, you see, let me show you this. Okay, I'm not sure if it shows. Like this part here, it may not look very flat and flush. This part here, so you might see some of the strands of the Flemish twist coming out. If you see them, all right, don't cut them short. Don't cut them short. Flemish twists are built that way, and it relies on the twist to keep those strands there in place. Okay, so don't cut them short. Just leave it. You can just press it down and wax it down. Don't worry about it. It's not that your string is torn or anything. Don't try to cut it. Don't try to unravel it. Okay, so it's very normal. Flemish twist is like that. Now, I'm going to also mention about optimal draw length, because whenever we buy bows, traditionally we only look at pretty much, I guess, two important things. Number one is the poundage that you need, and number two is the max draw length. Okay, so we normally don't have an optimal range. So it's like, example, if my draw is 29 inch from belly, when I go to a store or I go to a bow yard, I want to buy a bow, I might say, okay, do you have a bow that supports, let's say, up to 30 inch? So as long as it's more than 29 inch at the max draw, then I can use it. All right, there's no problem for me shooting anything less than the max draw length. Example, I can even go buy a bow 60 inch and it has a max draw length of 34, and I only shoot it at 29. No problem with that. As long as the max draw length is greater than my draw length, no problem, right? Okay, so for Super Recurve, that is not the case. Every Super Recurve has an optimal, an ideal draw range. So there is a minimum draw length. Okay, so it's not that you can just buy the longest one and then it will work for you. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to pick the bow in which the ideal range is where your draw length sits. And the reason is that, just look at this curve here. It's so curved that when you pull it back, the last bit only opens up at a certain draw length. For example, in my case, this bow here measures 62-inch AMO, I believe, which I have no fucking idea how they measure it. I think it's actually measured along the belly, like that. Okay, so this one here, the variant is called 62M, which is 62-inch AMO with a medium length limb. And when you measure from one tip to the other, it's only 51.5 inch. It is nowhere close to 62. It is far from 62. So how the hell, okay? I don't know how they actually measure it. You know, they measure along the belly or whatever. It's 62 inch. That's what they call it. Okay, just leave it as is. Just know that when it's shrunk, it's 51.5. There's another 2 units I have, something like 52, 52.5. Okay, a bit of variation. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this bow. This bow here, the minimum draw length, the ideal draw length range of this unit here is 28 to 32. Okay, 28 to 32. So at my draw length of 28, 29, it is just nice. It starts to open up at 27. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw it to show you the moment it lifts off. Okay, the last bit lifts off at 27. So if you draw less than 27, oh my god, the bow hasn't even fully opened yet. Okay, that's why there's a minimum. There's going to be a minimum. Once you pass a certain optimum range, the weight goes up just as any regular recurve. Okay, it goes up just as any normal bow. But the ideal range is where your poundage is quite flat. Okay, so when I say just now 28 to 32 on this unit, 28 to 32 inch is where it's pretty much flat. So it's very easy for us to hold and increase the draw length at that range. So now I'm going to just pull it to show you at 27. Okay, I'm going to pull. Okay, you see that? It starts to lift the final bit. That's 27 inch. Okay, but when it just lifts, it is not fully utilized. Okay, you have to pull slightly past that for it to be optimal. So that's why here is 27, this is 28. Okay, this is where the minimum on the ideal range, and then it goes all the way to 32. I don't have that draw length, but if you have, that would be the ideal range where the draw length is quite flat. And then once you go past 32, it can go to 34. But once you go past 32, it increases more linearly. Okay, it is not stacking, but it increases more linearly. It's okay, but it's not the best, not the sweet spot. Okay, the sweet spot is where you feel that, oh, the draw length doesn't increase much in weight. It could be, for example, the initial draw when you first pull it, maybe the poundage goes up like, let's say, 4 pounds per inch. And then at the sweet spot, it might be 1 pound per inch. Okay, that's what I mean by the sweet spot. It's quite flat. Oh, now the vibration. I'll talk about vibration. So when I first shot the bow, because the handle is very heavy. Okay, this is 570 grams. Not all in the handle, the whole bow. Okay, but it's a very heavy riser here. Hand shock is near zero. It's almost like just, that's it. That's the hand shock, like that. So it's very dead in the hand, but after you shoot, okay, vibration. When I first got the unit, it was set at 7 inch, and then I had this boom. It wasn't good, so I'm like, oh, something is not right. Let me adjust the brace height. I tested several brace height, and what I found out is at 7 and a quarter, meaning 7.25 inch and below. Okay. After the shot, the limbs go. That is vibration. It feels rather violent. It's like after the shot, then the bow tries to. There's some strong vibration there. Okay, 7 and a quarter inch or less. So I adjusted another 1/8. So I get it to right now 7/3/8 of an inch. Okay, 7/3/8 of an inch. Vibration is gone. Now, I'm not to say there's no vibration. but what I have is a vibration that is completely different from what I had before. So after the shot, you don't feel that big, strong, violent vibration, but you feel a very tame buzzing. So imagine that after you shoot, there's really nothing going on, but you can still see the tip here doing a bit of this buzzing, zzz, little bit. Okay, but it doesn't affect my grip. You don't really feel very much. It doesn't disturb you, but you can feel the buzzing, because just look at my hand. Look at this hook. It's huge. Look at my head. It's huge. So even when I hit this, you can still see the tip, right? You see that, right? So that tip is hanging. It's a large hanging tip. So of course, after the shot, it's gonna do a little bit of the buzzing, and I feel that the buzzing is not annoying, given that the bow is very smooth to draw, very nice to hold. Speed is very fast, no hand shot. A bit of buzzing is something that I'm willing to get along with. So it initially also included like 2 yarn balls as a string silencer. If you want it to be more deadened, you can actually install a silencer, but I actually removed it. I removed it because I feel that even without the silencer, the buzzing is not much. It's actually quite tame. So I have to choose between to put on that very gayish look of that puff bottle silencer, or to just accept a little bit of buzzing. And I decided that the buzzing doesn't affect me much. I would rather have a less gayish bow than that gay ball there. Okay, so let's take some shots. Good, everything in the view. Okay, so see, at this point, it's actually very soft. It's very, very light. I can hold it. I can adjust and shoot. So I do find this feature to be good, because now it is easier for me to fight target panic. I can just draw. It was very light at the back, so I just draw, hold it, take my time to adjust my anchor, aim, whatever, do everything I need, then release. So I think that's great. It's something that I think there is very few bows that can give me this kind of advantage, I guess. And so even though the bow does cost me quite a lot, I think it's it's a one in a lifetime purchase kind of thing. I don't spend very much on other things. I do have a lot of bows, but this bow is like double of my next bow. It's expensive. It's very expensive. But given that this is a different experience, it's okay. It's okay. So if you have the money, I think it's a nice experience. If you don't have money though, there is many other options that you can shoot just as good. You don't have to throw in everything you have for a Super Recurve, but I would say if you have the money, this is it's a nice experience. It's very nice. It's better than I thought, because some people actually warn me, oh, Super Recurve has a lot of hand shot and all that. After I tried it, oh, it's actually not that bad. I guess it depends on the manufacturer. In this particular case, the hand shot is near zero. The only thing is a little bit of the buzzing vibration. It's not a big vibration. Once I adjusted the brace height to the correct brace height, it's good. Okay, it is good. There is actually my unit right here is actually not the best one. Okay, it's not the best one, because out of the 3 I tested, there's one of them I haven't fixed the twist yet. There's a little bit of twist, I need to fix it. The other one that I compare against, same poundage as mine. I wish my unit was that, but that one doesn't have the snake skin. This one has it. That unit, the vibration. Okay, I would say vibration. Same thing, no hand shot, but the vibration after the shot, the slight buzzing vibration, that one has almost nothing. Mine has a little bit. So when I compare, I feel like that is a better unit. I would love my unit to be like that, but It came in like that, so there's really nothing much I can do. But fortunately, it's not bad. It's just a slight buzzing. But if compared to the other unit, wow, I feel like wow, that unit is so good. For a super recurve, no handshot, no vibration. That's almost like a myth. So it's almost unbelievable. It's like, how can it be? But it is. Okay, that unit is very good. I really wish my unit is as good as that one. So my one has a little bit of buzzing, but it's okay. It's not very bad. If you see me shoot just now, you can see that there's really not big movement. It's just a tiny little bit. I'm gonna take another shot just to show you. So again, full draw here is very soft. I'm gonna hold my aim. Okay, I actually didn't intentionally katra the bow, but I guess it just happens. And it kind of contacts my body, and maybe my body is helping to absorb some of the vibration, I don't know, but it's really not much at all. Okay, this time I'm gonna try not to move the bow at all. I didn't do it intentionally, but it just happened. Okay, I'm gonna try not to have the bow move. Hopefully you can see any form of vibration or buzzing in the limbs. Full draw, hold it. I didn't move the bow, okay? I didn't move the bow, it just happens. But anyway, after the shot, yeah, it has like that, see? Like that. So, this part here don't really feel very much, but there's this movement like that. Okay, so, is it bad? I think it is perfectly acceptable. Given all the advantage that I have, a small amount of that is perfectly acceptable for me.